Can you tell me a bit about your life before you became a climate change presenter?
That would be the majority of my life. I've been teaching at Medicine College since 1977. I am a physical educator. By my initial training, I taught high school physical education back in Ontario in the early 70s. Since coming up to Medicine College, I've taught mostly anatomy courses, biomechanics courses, to other physical education students, to therapist assistant students, massage therapy students. I've also coached volleyball teams. I coached the women's teams for a while, and then I coached men's at the college as well for a while. So I've been involved in athletics from a few different perspectives. But education, I guess, that's pretty much been my life. Ever since I started school, I've been in school, either as a student or as a teacher.
Why did you do that? Why did you get into education? What was the appeal?
Really hard to say. I guess my parents would say that from a young age I forced my brothers to sit in chairs while I taught them various things, so they always knew I was going to be a teacher. I think it was mostly my choice of fields, though. I chose to go into physical education because I enjoyed sports, I liked the activities, and pretty much that was your only choice of professions. If you took physical education, you became a phys ed teacher. I had a couple other possibilities that I kind of toyed with for a while, but after 1 year of theoretical mathematics at university, I decided I didn't really like that very much. So physical education just, again, I just sort of almost fell into it in a way. I think sometimes if you don't struggle too hard, you end up falling into the slot that you're supposed to be in. And that's what happened to me.
How did you progress from being a physical educator to an environmentalist?
That I cannot explain. I've always had an interest in out of doors and I don't know, wildlife, animals, those sorts of things. And a few years ago, I locked into this local naturalist group, the Grasslands Naturalists, and they started making me more aware of some of the issues, some of the concerns about our planet, our environment, and so on. And then I saw the movie, An Inconvenient Truth, and it was as if it just resonated with something inside me. Obviously, two very, very different fields. I don't have any background in even biology or botany or anything like that. Human anatomy and the environment, I don't know, I suppose you could tie them together on a stretch, but it just seemed to click with me. It just seemed to resonate. Suddenly things like not using up our planet became very important to me. And it was as if this opportunity to go and train with Mr. Gore just, I don't know, just sort of jumped into my life at a very opportune time, and I took advantage of it.
Are you optimistic or worried about the future of the planet?
I am optimistic about the planet because it will survive. Regardless of what we do to it, the planet will still be here. As to what state it's in, that really depends on us. If we continue as we are right now, there's no doubt that the temperature will continue to go up, which will mean all kinds of changes will happen. And in some cases, people might label them actually as positive changes. I mean, if you think about the opening of the Northwest Passage, that will make it a lot easier to travel from Europe over to Asia, rather than having to go through the Panama Canal, so they'll be able to save lots of money in terms of transportation. But then when we lose that polar ice cap, we also lose our cooling effect on the planet. So things will continue to get a lot warmer, which means we'll lose a lot of the land-based ice, which means the oceans will likely rise. So there'll be hundreds of millions of people that will be displaced as a result of that. There likely will be more problems with disease and invading organisms and things that are usually killed off because of cold weather, well, if we lose the cold weather, they're not going to get killed off anymore. And we've seen that in our own country with the pine beetle problem. We don't have enough cold winters that are cold for a long enough period of time to kill them off, and that will continue to happen all over the planet. So it will be a different world. It'll still be one in which humans are here. It'll just be different than what we see now, and there may be more drastic and dramatic kinds of weather patterns that people have to put up with. I think it's a case of do we want the coming generations to be able to have the same sorts of advantages that we have now, or do we want them to get stuck with the horrors of what may be down the road?
Well, thank you very much, Sue.
Oh, you're welcome.